And this morning we're blessed with the presence of, Tanya Ambrose. Wow. Boss lady?
I know how you stay.
I don't know. I had to have a little argument just a while ago with Omari.
Why?
Talk to him, okay?
Why?
The
Omari saw the beautiful photo?
No, yeah, and the questioning. Good morning. How we, on their business, how she do? Just good morning and hold on for the chief and the boss lady. Your question, she ask you how she do, and all kind of sudden.
Good morning, Miss Ambrose.
Good morning, dear. Good morning, dearest.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, pleasure to have you, Refine. Thank you.
And how are you this morning?
I am well. I am doing the best I can. I'm pushing through.
That is all we can
Can't
ask.
complain.
That is
Yes.
all we can ask, my dear.
Excellent. Welcome to Mornings with Sly. I'm sure you are familiar with Sly J. And we are so delighted to have you joining us with our audience this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here, so thank you for having me.
I'm a little upset, but when
Why
I say
upset for Sly J?
in a good way, because I know I don't follow sometimes. Sometimes I go into my own zone, and I'm saying, my Tanya, scrub up Antigua, and I don't know. I mean, I was beginning to get an attitude.
Yes,
But then,
that's me.
yes, but it's great to have you, and I really want to know all about this scrub.
So let's go. It's Scrub Life Care Sly J. And
Yes.
this Saturday, Tanya's with us particularly because this Saturday, the Cana Moravian Church and Suites transforms into more than a venue. It becomes a wellness village,
Okay.
a safe space and a classroom, a support group that celebrates everything, and it's going to be wrapped all into one as Scrub Life Cares marks 5 years of Grow with the Flow. And so we're glad to have Tanya with us. She's the owner and CEO of Scrub Life Cares. Scrub Life Cares. I'm having a tongue twister moment. So Tanya, could you first tell us what is Scrub Life Cares?
Yes, so Scrub Life Cares is a public health nonprofit organization with a focus on promoting menstrual equity, comprehensive reproductive and sexual health education, maternal and child health, and overall community wellness across Antigua and Barbuda, the wider Caribbean, and the southern United States. And our mission is centered around increasing access to health education, essential menstrual and hygiene products, and just creating safe spaces, empowering spaces where our women, our girls, our youth, and families that includes our boys and our men, they can learn and they can ask questions and they can feel supported as well. And I think what makes us unique is that, we take a comprehensive and community-centered approach when it comes to health education. So we're not only just focusing on one issue, we're looking at the whole person and different factors, that impact our health and well-being throughout the life course.
All right. And so now we come to Grow with the Flow.
Yes.
And it's 5 years old. It's about to be 5?
Yes, this is going to be the 5th year. So
It's
this
so
Saturday,
long.
we're celebrating 5 years. Long.
It was just yesterday. I think I came to the second year for a bit.
Yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday. What started as, an idea where we wanted to just have an event that we were going to bring health education to Antigua, make it fun about learning about your bodies. We had no idea what we were doing as far as event planning because I've never planned an event rather, and I just knew I wanted to, educate the public about their bodies so we can just be confident and comfortable. And I remember telling myself, if we have at least 10 to 15 people in attendance at this event, it would have been a success.
10 to 15?
That was my first thought when
Okay.
we first had the event. I said, if we had 10 to 15 people come to the event outside of family members,
Okay.
it would have been a success because you're talking about menstrual health, you're talking about mental health, you're talking about nutrition, you're talking about sexual health, and these are conversations that individuals don't necessarily like to have, in Antigua, in the Caribbean, and in an open space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that year we had around 78 people in attendance.
Wow, that's good.
Great.
Right. And we've grown over the years. Last year we've seen an increase every year. And last year we had close to 400 individuals at this event. Even saw an increase in fathers bringing their daughters and entire families coming out. So we are looking forward to this year. The event was created for us to provide, women and girls and families and the young people with access again to health education and community support. But I think one of the things that we've done is instead of just coming and, we're talking at you or telling you what to do, you're coming and you're immersing yourself in it. It's like an experience.
Okay.
So, we have all these FETs in Antigua, so we are calling our event the FET for Health Education. Because it's a nice little vibe. You come in, good music, good food, you have raffles and lucky dip, and then each attendee that comes to the free event, you get a goodie bag filled with menstrual and hygiene products to last you at least 3 months. So that's that's very important. That's the catch for the event. That goodie bag is what we have, because you know what, we don't do things small here at Scrub Life Kids. We can't if we tried, and I blame my mother for that. She's the one that would have set the standard.
Please give her my very best regards. Morning, Bridget.
She would have been the one that would have set the standard. So there's no way, and sadly or maybe fortunately, I come from a line of excellence. So that is how we deal with Scrub Life Kids, excellence, because we want people to feel seen and heard and just supported in a way that they can feel confident and comfortable, So that's ideally what the event is about.
Any goodie bags for the men?
Yes, of course. Yes, we do have goodie bags for our men. We have goodie bags for our older population because we have a wide range of people who come to this event. We've had youngest as 5, oldest as 85. So there's something for everyone at this event.
Hold on, just for clarity. So it's not a standard goodie bag?
No. We have when we first started, like I said, we had no idea what we were doing, so everyone got a standard goodie bag. But then we had some feel up from our older population who were going through menopause, and they're not seeing periods, so they don't want no menstrual products. They only want self-care items. Okay. So we had to ensure that we're catering for people because they've been supportive. And like I said, we have a very good support from our older population. So of course we wanted to keep coming. So we ensure that we have the goodie bags for our men, we have the goodie bags for our preteens, have our goodie bags for individuals who going through puberty and of course would have started their menstrual cycle, and then those who are in the perimenopause or menopausal phase. So there's something.
Okay, that bag is mine.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah, right. Okay, that sounds good because you obviously have something for womenopause too.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Good. Perfect. Not going to further than that, love.
Let us look at the mental health. You notice what he gonna carry about woman.
Yes,
Hold on there. I'm sorry, Tanya. I just realized. Sly J. Y'all ever pause on women?
Not until I did.
I am going to disagree with you, and I'm going to pick it up here. On the mental health and wellness, I know that the expo includes a mental health hub, which focuses this year, I think, on grief, stress management, and emotional well-being.
Yes.
Over the 5 years, have women become more open about their mental health struggles?
I will say I've seen that because we've had individuals who've come to the event who've mentioned, not going to see a therapist because, again, we live in a society that is stigmatized, right? And then people say, Antigua's so small, so I can chat my business and say X, Y, Z. And, we want to foster an environment where we can trust our mental health practitioners because, they've gone to school, they've gone to do the relevant training. So, of course, they know about, privacy and confidentiality. And over the years, we've seen, individuals, they've come forward and say, because we've come to this event, this particular person here is now my therapist, or I've reached out to them to get support.
Okay.
And that is ideally, what we want. So, we focus on mental health and reproductive health, because they are deeply connected, and it's something that we don't talk about enough, So that's very important. And like I said, again, we always want people to come and walk away saying, I learned something, or I feel seen, or like I said, this person is now my therapist, or they've offered me support. We've had individuals who've been there. We've had, gynecologists at the events talking, and they've said, I've never in my adult life had a gyno appointment. And because of this event, because of this conversation now, this particular doctor is either now my gynecologist, or I have now went to seek the help or seek, the health care provided from any sort of gynecologist. So again, we want not only to educate, but for you to know, these are what's available to you in the community.
All right, I want to personalize it because the question was asked about the openness of participants. But I want to specify the men. Are they open to talk when they come to and talk about the problems that may exist in their lives?
Well, yeah. So last year, I would
Okay.
say, was when we would have seen more men attended our event. In the past, they would have probably dropped their child or their partners off, and they were going about their business. Because again, it's promoted as a women and girls health expo. 'Cause that's what we had from day one. But again, we have programs that's catering to our young boys and our men. And we've seen a increase last year, and again, talking about their mental health. Like I said, even talking about the different screenings. We've had doctors there on board, male doctors, even our female doctors as well, who were able to speak to our men as well about their health and well-being. Because again, everything is not. We can talk about reproductive health without even incorporating our men as well. So we have had that. And, they've surprisingly been open about that. So again, we want to be able to continue to foster these conversations. Again, so when we talk about Grow It the Flow, it's more so whole person, whole family. So that's both our men, women, boys, and girls as well.
Okay.
All right. I know too that there is an addition, the
Yes.
Neurodiversity and Disability Inclusive Health Station. Why? Why that? And I'm asking, on the disability, yes, but do we have sufficient needs in our small island for the neurodiversity component?
Well, yeah. So at Scrub Life Kids, we do believe that health education and community wellness spaces should be accessible, right? So when you're thinking about, you want to make sure that you feel, this welcoming, it's supportive for everyone, and that includes our neurodivergent individuals and persons with disabilities, because they're often left out of the conversation. Even as women, we're always in the minority, right? So then think about our individuals who are neurodivergent and they are persons with disabilities, and sometimes, large community events can feel overwhelming for individuals with sensory sensitivities or any sort of different support needs. And for me, as a public health professional, I've gone to school, I've worked in different sectors. We want to ensure that we are including everyone, because we can't talk about health and well-being and then we're disregarding a particular population as well, right? So this year we were very intentional about creating an environment where more people and families feel comfortable participating. I've had parents tell me, "Oh, I wanted to come, but I wasn't sure my child was going to be able to come and participate." Just yesterday I had someone telling me, is there going to be an area for my child who is neurodivergent or I'm differently able, because I want to be able to go and visit the different stores, but I also want to make sure that they're taken care of. And that, to me, ideally would have warmed my heart yesterday, so that, we thought about that and we really want to bring that into the conversation and just at the event as well. Because, for us, inclusion is part of health equity. And everyone deserves access to education, doesn't matter where they are developmentally as well. So we want people to feel very included. And of course, there is a need. There is a need, and there's a bigger need that's happening more and more in Antigua and across the region, even across the world as well. Of course, we need more accurate diagnosis, yes, but we will be having, professionals who are equipped to handle that at the event on Saturday as well. So we're very excited for that as well.
In terms of the overall event, so let's say I attend, and you mentioned there that, of course, there'll be persons who access services there or education there, and then they go on to get their private consultants and services and so on. Is there any connect between this fair and any of the services offered, say, at the clinics and other public support opportunities for the government?
As far as the government, I will say no, but this year we do have representatives from the Celeste Bird Medical Center who will be there this time around. So we've been partnering in getting them to come to the event so we can ensure that, again, individuals know about the resources available. And we're going to have the gender fairs there as well. So, again, individuals know the access to various resources and information. One of the things that we added this year is the maternal and perinatal health station. And, in speaking with Dr. Bell, the medical director at the Celeste Bay Medical Center, one of the things that I heard when I was listening, I think it was the budget speech last year, when the junior minister of health at the time, who's now the minister of health, would have mentioned that it was some low percentage of individuals who would have received antenatal care. And me, as a maternal health specialist, that number was alarming for me. Because I remember in my time, I'm not too old, but in my time, I know, when my mom was pregnant with my sisters, she would go to the clinic in All Saints or Suites to get her checkup. When we came back, but we obviously want one year. But when we came back, we would go to the clinic. My grandmother would take us to the clinic to get our shots and everything. And I think that we have lost something within the community care in Antigua, where individuals aren't accessing that community care at the community level. Everything
Seriously? That is a surprise. Hearing you say that sounds very surprising. I thought that was one of our strong suits.
It is and should be, but there are individuals, based on that number that I heard the minister mention in Parliament. I will never forget, because I remember I thought I was hearing the wrong thing, and my sister sent me the same message immediately. So I said, I know I'm not crazy, and I watched the replay as well. So individuals aren't necessarily accessing the maternal health care that they need, and then when things go left sometimes, the doctors at the Celestial Medical Center ends up getting blamed for things going wrong. And of course, we all have our faults, don't get me wrong, but it starts with ourselves and the community access that we have. So that's one of the reasons why we're having that particular segment of that section at the event, and of course having some members from the Celestial Medical Center be in attendance so we can ensure that people know what's available to them, where it's available, and to get the education as well.
I see you have the open closet in that new maternal and perinatal health station. What is that? Curious.
So the open closet is because from time to time we get requests about, we need gently used clothes, or individuals and families do need clothes, right?
Okay.
So with the open closet now, what we decided to do, it's more about, dignity, community care, and then that access again. So we're going to be providing, free, new, and gently used clothing items to individuals and families, in a respectful and welcoming environment as well. Because, we understand, again, health and wellness, they are connected to how we feel, and they, to so many different social factors, including access to basic needs. Confidence and just feeling supported. So we have, as I'm sitting here talking to you, my mom is here ironing some clothes, so she cannot help herself again. Again, this is how we do it. So I'm like, yes. She's sitting next to me ironing some clothes. So we can, because we've had a great deal of support of individuals pouring in and, supplying some of these clothes, and other businesses giving us, like brand new clothing. Because again, people need clothes to go to interviews. People are having babies who, times are hard from an economical standpoint, and, the price of a diaper and even, some clothes is so expensive. So we're just trying to cater it from a, holistic standpoint. So holistic, compassionate, and community-centered, rather than just, you're coming to get the education. You can come, you're going to come like you're going to a store. So again, it's all about the experience, again, for those that are going to be in attendance. So it's a free event. You get a free goodie bag upon entry. And then once you enter that event again, you go to that open closet section. You get in free clothes and shoes and bags and jewelry and these different things. Again,
jewelry too?
Yes, this is on Pian, event, we do it big here. Serious thing.
Where is this gonna be?
This is gonna be at the Cana Moravian Church.
Which part that be?
In a Suites. You don't know where it is, Lige?
In Sweets Village, so the village that currently Ambrose was raised in.
Oh, yes.
I have to just say that out.
As a matter of fact, I drove through there just yesterday, and I looked at the house as I was passing.
So it's opposite the R&B Williams School.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's the way we want for here.
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
So that's the landmark opposite the R&B Williams School in the Kingdom Maven Church ground. And like I said, it's free. Everyone get a goodie bag, upon entry, and we are transforming that venue into something totally different for year 5. So it's going to be something epic, and like I say, there's something for everyone. And like I say, it's just going to be a fete for health education.
So here's the thing. I know it's been 5 years, but what are some of give us maybe an example of two of what has happened or the feedback you've gotten from the expo that reminds you or motivates you that this matters?
I think, again, not knowing what we were doing year 1, we just wanted to ensure that we were bringing the health education to people. And over the years, we've had, parents, teachers, even young people and some other members of the community that would tell us, at the end, some people don't even want to leave. Like this year, we had to extend the time from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. like the last 4 years. So this year now it's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. because people don't want to leave the event, when they come. But we've heard that, these sessions, the event has helped them better understand, not only their bodies, but feeling comfortable asking questions. Some parents would say, they feel comfortable having certain conversations with their own children. Because sometimes when we talk about, periods and menstrual health, the first thing our parents sometimes will tell their children is, don't get pregnant. and we're skipping a whole process in between, right? So that's one of the things that we've heard, when it comes to the mental health, the openness that individuals are having. People are talking about it. When we talk about the different reproductive health conditions that we don't often talk about, people are having this conversation again in the open, and they're not afraid to share what's happening to them, right? We even received feedback from our young girls who said they felt, less ashamed about their body. The other day I was at the Antigua's high school career fair. We had a stall there, and I overheard a young girl out by the music man, and she said, oh, that's Club Life Kids. I went to the event last year, and I got a whole bunch of pads that could have lasted for a couple of months, and they could
Great
go
stuff.
again this year.
Great
And
stuff.
I said, you're talking about my organ? She said, oh, that's you. And I said, yeah, I'm the founder. So just hearing conversations just like that.
The pride.
Continues, the pride, and it continues to motivate me. Now we've gone international to the point now that we have 2 doctors from the U.S. who are flying in this week to come to be at this event, to have a booth, to have a stall, so they can add to the event as well. So that's very exciting, and it continues, to motivate us really and truly. So it's very encouraging over the years, and like I said, we've seen an increased openness and engagement on conversations that were once considered taboo. So we have a lot more work to do, I will say, but we are seeing a change.
So along the line that you have a lot more work to do and you're seeing the change, if you could change one thing about how women's health is approached in Antigua and Barbuda, what would it be? If you could sit with the minister and say, Minister, I want this changed, what would it be?
Great question.
I think, it would be to change some of the policies as it relates to women's health in Antigua and Barbuda, because I think sometimes, because to me, and this is my personal stance in Oscar back years, we don't necessarily move the needle as we should when it comes to women's health in Antigua. And I think if I could change one thing is just, in creating some policies, especially when it comes around menstrual health, reproductive health, where we can have supportive environment, I want individuals, even like our minister, to understand that, a woman going through this maternal health, perimenopause, menopause, menstrual health, the discomfort that comes with that, the discomfort that comes with a woman's period or her cycle, right? So I want for us, our goal here right now, even for the month of May and beyond as public, is for us to create a period-friendly Antigua and Barbuda. So that starts with supportive working environments to ensure that there's access to the products. Our employers, so our goal over the next couple of months is to go into these corporate companies and even governmental agencies for us to provide the education to our managers, supervisors, and employees so they understand, every day of a particular week is not going to be the same for your woman employee, right? Her 100% one day may be her 40%, but that's the best she can give. And instead of us penalizing that individual
or
shaming them rather, we can create a supportive environment where they have the flexibility to maybe go to a, let's say, sick bay. In an ideal way, we have a sick bay, right? Where they can go rest for a little bit, or even if they need flexibility, where if it's a situation where they can potentially work from home and get the job done, then that'll be fine. It's about creating supportive environment, and I think that's one thing I want to see. And I want to see a curriculum, because we have a curriculum here as collective that we've implemented over the last several months, and I've been, meeting with Ministry of Education officials and hoping to meet with Ministry of Health officials just to see how we can implement that as well. So I think, if we can create policies to help create sustainable change, because supportive systems do matter. And of course, I think education and access should go hand in hand. So I would like to see our curriculum be incorporated into the Ministry of Education's curriculum, whether it's an in-school program or after-school program. But again, to have the conversation, because again, we can't talk about overall health and well-being if we're missing the conversations about everything, and I know they'll tell me the HFLE curriculum has certain things in it. And, it does, because I have access to what they have shared with me thus far. But I think I want to see stronger, more supportive policies around menstrual health education, and just creating a more period-friendly environment in school, workplaces, and communities.
So then the last word, I would want you to just reach out to our audience and remind them what to expect come Saturday, 23rd May 2026 at the Cana Moravian Church in Sweets Village from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. where Scrub Life Cares presents the 5th annual Women and Health 5th annual Women's and Health Expo, Grow with the Flow.
Yes, so this is a whole woman, whole family health event. So when I say whole family, that means the daddy, the mommy, the sister, the auntie, the uncle, the grandmother, everybody. And we're going to have components like menstrual health education, reproductive and sexual health education, maternal health, mental wellness, that's very important, nutrition, our youth health, community wellness, family-centered education, the disability able, inclusive health conversation is going to be there as well. There's going to be different activities. We have the open closet. There's going to be buns castles, face painting. We have lucky dips. We have raffles, and our raffles, we go big and beyond for these raffles. Like, this is not no little raffle. You're getting day pass here. You're getting tea. You're getting all kind of things for these raffles that we have. Because again, like I say, it's an event where we are ensuring that when individuals come to this event, they're left feeling empowered and happy that they came to Swiss Village. The people come from all the way Freetown to Swiss Village, and I'm telling you, they have had a good time. So it's all about, coming out on Saturday, May 23rd. That is 3 days before my birthday. So it's always a celebration before. So it's a Fed for Health Education, but also celebrating Tanya's birthday. So like I say, it's a whole vibe. We're learning about ourselves so we can make informed, evidence-based decisions about our health and well-being. But of course, having the conversation that's very pertinent to how we can move forward for a better and healthier Antigua and Barbuda.
Well, Tanya, we want to thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's been not one mouthful, about 3 mouthfuls.
Oh, yes.
And happy birthday. What day is your birthday?
It's next Tuesday. The 26th.
Okay, my mom is the 25th. But thank you for using the opportunity of your birthday for the last 5 years to invest and reinvest in our communities. I think that's very important. Please extend our best wishes to the entire family.
Please. Who
continue to support you. Of course, we also congratulate and thank on your behalf those business persons and everyone else who continues to contribute to the expo. We'll probably have you back if time permits, just to have a recap as to how it went. But definitely we look forward to great things for this expo. Please, Antiguans and Barbadians, come out and support. The information and the knowledge is here for us. Let's go take advantage of it. Tanya, thank you very much.
Yes, my dear, and please give my regards to your daddy. And when you see him today, walk up and say, "Anybody knock you?" You can say,
he just walked in here, so he's looking at me, and Mom has to tell you guys hello. So,
anybody trouble you?
He laughing.
Yeah, I know he would.
All right.
Thank you, my dear.